Then in my mind, I suddenly feel if I want to go into Web3, so basically this is the right job to start with. Because in this platform, I can learn about so many projects, meet so many co-founders and VCs. And 1 year later, that decisions proved me right. And we've been sponsoring around the regions, things like that. But basically, this is the first presentation Certik carry in this Malaysian land. And in Malaysia, I basically want to contribute more into the local community. So please help me. And yeah, I would get the best synergies to share here. Okay, so what is Certik? Certik is definitely not something strange in the space. If you are in the crypto space for some time, you basically heard about Certik. But there's a gap there. The brand is there, the reputation is there, but there's some or misunderstanding, and the tools are available, but people don't know how to use the tools. So Certik will be audited like 5 to 6, close to 6,000 contracts projects last year. And basically, if according to CMC market shares, we basically rank like 60–70% of the total listed coin in CMC. So you see that the 60% market share basically come from that data itself. And it's founded by 2 professors. So Rong Hui is from Columbia University, is currently our CEO. So he is an expert in formal verification. So he founded Certik in 2017. And yeah, that's how it grew from 12 people of manpower. Now we grew to 300. I was like the 176 employee last year. So it's about Certik. We provide security solutions for the Web3 space. And currently, the last valuations we have is $1 billion. So I think the founder did a great job on fundraising because they raised during the peak time of our sales. Then later we dropped. So yeah, from the last market valuation is 1 billion, and the last 2 investors joined the pool is Goldman and SoftBank. So so sorry to them, they buy at a high price. Yeah, and Tiger Global, Binance Labs, Sequoia are the earlier investors to Certik, especially Sequoia. They have a very good platform for startup. So for HR management, for trainings, everything, Sequoias are providing all these resources. So we can do even L0, L1, L2, the app, and of course Web 2. So Web 2 basically is about penetration testing. We have audited so many projects, and basically this add on to our expertise coming along. And you can see now we can audit a lot of programming language and also the platforms, but this basically grew in the last 1 year. So before that, 80% of our contracts are audited in EVM compatible and Solidity. And later, the team have some capacity, and the engineers team grow like 100%. So they start learning the other projects. So one of the main projects that we've done is like our largest fees in history is Aptos. So yeah, we completed Aptos in around October, and so you see Aptos 3 hackathons or events that we are partnering with them this year. So now our engineers are very familiar with Move language. But Sui, we talked to Sui, but Sui haven't subscribed to our service. We tell them we found critical findings in their source code. So tell Sui, come to us, Yeah. And of course, Golang, Rust, Solana Rust, Near, yeah, we can do that. So how to start the audit? And so I will go through the process flow and let you guys have an understanding of how to engage an audit company. So first, usually there will be initial meetings. So these meetings, you need to show us your source code for review. You can share to our GitHub, things like that, or you can talk to our engineers about your audit scope and what is your budget, because the budgets and your audit, the scope must be go aligned. Sometimes you want to audit so many things, but not necessarily the cost can cover all the audits. like your time frame of launching and things like that. So I just give you a very quick look on how this landscape changed. So I joined the industry before the Luna incident. So in the first quarter of last year, they have like 10,000 tokens listed. In the Q4, there's only like 3,000. Yeah. So now Q1 most probably will match Q4 activities, like a few thousands tokens going to listings. So we haven't end of Q1. Currently, it's still mid of Q1. Okay, and things change and switch away. So there's so many tokens audits in the first half of last year, and suddenly Luna incidents happens. So you don't see so many NFTs, but at the NFT marketplace are still coming to audit. And in the later stage, you see more infrastructures building, and you see more breaches involving, and you basically don't see those cartoons anymore. You know what I mean. Especially after the FTX incidents, things go very serious. Only the very serious builders and projects continue to get on funding and continue to build. Yeah, so kickoff meetings and the projects will onboard. So once the projects engage Certik services, immediately in 1 working days, we will list them in our website. So if let's say you meet any projects that's saying they engage Certik services, you can basically go to our website to verify. Certik.com have this leaderboard. You can just type the project's name and you can see the audit progress, things like that. I will show you shortly. We also have communication channels with the projects teams in Slack, Telegram, emails. Yeah. So once the quotations and timeline is concurrent, the projects team will pay and will start the services. And we'll provide the preliminary reports according to the audit timeline. So what is the audit about? Basically, there's 5 pillars here. I'm definitely not a tech guy. Probably you understand this better than me. But there's a lot of mathematics or data specializations in doing securities audit. So the first pillar called trade modeling and preparation. And automated analysis, this is one of the key libraries that we have after so many years of auditing projects. Expert manual reviews is done by the engineers. Dynamic analysis and disclosure and remediation. So let's go one by one. So trade modeling, basically, we have a checklist of what kind of things that we're going to test. So this trade modeling is by design and by preparations by the scientists, engineers, professors. They understand about the projects, they learn about the projects. So they have this documentation checklist on how to do the audit. And automated analysis, now we have like 60,000 findings since we started 2017. So it's a key libraries. Basically, we will scan the source code with our libraries. Immediately, the system will tell the engineers that this source code have these findings, these vulnerabilities, things like that. But then we have convenient tools like that. This only does 20% of the hard work. The other 80% will need manual revisions reviewed by the engineers. So automated, of course, the securities are evolving in the space. So even we have 60,000 findings, basically, this will continue to grow by time. Expert manual review, you'll be surprised that our engineers not only review the source code itself, we also build proof of concept on their tokenomics and look at their white paper if their source code or what their build are basically same to what they have planned. So dynamic analysis, this is 10 test environment setup, some testings, hypothesis setup, and to test the source code as well. Yeah. So after all these stages done, and we will release preliminary audit reports to the projects team. So now the projects team have these findings and also the recommendations how to fix all this source code. So we call it the remediation process. So to do this, we have this platform called Sky Harbor. So Sky Harbor basically is a platform that allows the projects team to log into Sky Harbor and look at their findings And also they can comment in their findings, and our engineers and our technical teams will review what they have fixed and provide recommendations or suggestions if necessary. So this is an example of what happened to a client, to one of the clients' audit report. So you can see, this category is called inconsistency. So you see this source code itself has 3 findings, and the recommendations is here, and this is what happens this is the comments from the projects team. So these are not critical findings. And the status is marked as pending because they have remarked what have they done, but the project team, our engineers will review the source code and see if they implement correctly. And we will rank this status to either acknowledged, mitigated, partially resolved, or resolved. So this is just inconsistency. But if you go to our website, you look at those audit reports, you basically can see some red flag there. Okay, something like centralization, which basically is how the projects team manage their tokens, manage their private keys. Yeah. So there's a lot of exit scam last year, and also what happens. But basically, the audit report already tell you that if they only acknowledge the centralization, which basically is a red flag. It means a private key is held by one single owner that don't have a Genesis safe in place, multi-sig. That basically is a time bomb. People get drunk and wake up with different animals. That's what happened. Yeah. And a lot of ideal business plan, initially, when it grows and it will evolve, by time maybe it will fail. So when it fails, without a proper private key management, then you basically, it's not really decentralized. It's building business in decentralized with decentralized tools, but managing the funds with a centralized way. So it's a very dangerous approach. And of course, we also do penetration testing. So in your L012, you have applications, a platform to face your front user. And this is one of the misgap. A lot of times, people just do a smart contract audit without do a pen test on their applications. So like web applications, mobile applications, these also subject to vulnerabilities and chances of getting hacked. So what we can do is pen tests in wallets, exchanges, the apps, also crypto breaches. So these are the clients that we have provide these pen test services for them. And now we want to focus on providing pen tests to our customer, because last year we have Professor Kang Lee join us. He is now our CSO, currently. And he put so much effort on developing the penetration testing team. So these are the clients that we have providing pen tests for them. Yeah, probably some of them is familiar to you. And what I found in Certik is basically we have a very good teams, not only doing audits, not only solving security problems, but they also enhance internal workflow. So accelerator is one of the workflow that is used by the engineers and also the team. So here in accelerators, basically whatever findings the engineers done, they're basically keying into a system. So this is the system we call it accelerator used within Certik. So BD like me also use this system to communicate with the engineers. And I think for developers, it's important that you need to understand the user interface, the user experience. So I think Certik's done a very good job here. And this is basically a flow of what accelerators did for the users. So we will submit codes with the source code to our engineers. So the engineers will review the source code, the complexity itself, and provide the timeline on how many days they need to audit this source code. So BD like me will get back to the clients and tell them, hey, we need this much of cost, and this is the audit timeline, and this is the audit scope. So are you agree with that? So if you agree, then we'll process the documentations, invoice, and service agreement to onboard them. So accelerators basically serve the purpose from the initial stage of getting the quotations during review, and later it will also provide an interface to do the recommendations for the audit. Even you do smart contract audit or penetration testings, but this won't last forever because securities evolve. So there will be some challenge in the space, and it's still challenging in this space. So for example, like the vulnerabilities or the hackings are evolving, especially at a stage like now. And also because of multi-chains, a lot of smart contracts that deploy in multi-chains, so the data in different chains are scattered and across all this ecosystem. And vulnerabilities is undetectable after the project deployment. So after the smart contracts is audited and deployed and functioning, but you won't have a system to manage or tackle the problems in a real-time basis. So how we solve that? Basically, we provide Skynet solution. So Skynet solutions is a real-time monitoring alert to detect threat or vulnerabilities in a real-time basis on the audit contracts that we have or from the database we have. So we provide a real-time securities trust score in our website to tell people what happened to these particular projects, and if the securities vulnerabilities is anywhere threatened by some of the things or hacking happening elsewhere. Yeah. So the Skynet basically provide a score from 0 to 100, and we call it a Skynet trust score. So the trust score basically compute from the security score and also the market community score. So the security score basically is about the audit they have done. So how many findings they have resolved. So there will be a static score on that particular information. And Skynet market and communities basically is about the liquidities of the tokens tradings in the centralized exchange. And the community score basically is computed by the Twitter's account. So how many negative tweet or positive tweet. So it's very amazing that our team able to build these products because it's work in a real-time basis. So I cannot share too much information here because these are proprietary tools. But what I can show you is there's a mathematics behind all this scoring. So all factors have their own algorithms. So there will be two segments of data flow into and provide a signals. And the trust score basically is ranked between all these signals. So we compute into a trust score. So I have a document basically, it's live, cannot see too much. Okay. Yeah, so you can use this, yeah. The good news is you can use this, So you go to our website for the projects that subscribe to the Skynet, you can basically see this in a real-time basis. Okay, I will show you more information here. And we break down the scoring into 6 factors. So like static analysis, on-chain monitoring, the social sentiments, the governance, it means the token distributions, the market volatility, and the liquidity and the safety assessment. So when you go to our website, basically it just looks like that. And there's so many projects down there. We have like 3,000 over projects listed over there. So let's say you click on Polygon. So Polygon is one of our key clients, and you see the score is there, and it's a L2 scaling system by categories. So if you go to the profile, you can see the Skynet scoring. So this works in a real-time basis. You also can see the security score and the market community score. So there's not so much negative tweaks about Polygon now. If it's a lot of negative tweaks, then this 90 is currently 93 last on yesterday, it will drop. And you also can compare the score for Polygon between the other projects in Skynet. than using Skynet. And if you scroll down, you can basically see code history. Let me show you the website. So the website basically has so many informations down there. So this is the website. Okay, so once you go to the website, you can basically search the project's name if it's audited by Certik. So any projects in mind that now you are most concerned, BUSD. No, I think BUSD is stablecoin, but BNB chain is fine, So we audited BNB chain. Okay, so once you go to the profile, immediately you can see the scoring is still good, because stablecoin is the other concern. So under the code audit history, you can basically see the source code and the audit scope they have done. So if you click on the view PDF, you can basically see the entire source code, the findings that we encounter. We cover it, and also the recommendations. So all this make so transparent and publicly available. Yeah, of course, this is basically a old format. Let me show you a new format. It works better. So let's see Aptos. Okay, so you see under code audit history, Aptos have audited so many source code. So all this source code basically it will show has a different tab. So you can click on the tab and read the source code and look at the finding. So in a layman term, basically you not necessarily need to read the PDF, but you can see, okay, this Aptos core move depth source code have 5 findings and they resolve 3. Yeah, just by the summary tables, immediately you can know what kind of problem they have fixed, especially the critical one. You can also see we rank the findings by critical and major. So critical are the findings that they must solve, no matter what is like an infrastructure's problem or things like that. Major like centralization risk, we actually categorize as a major risk. So if you click on the real findings, you can basically gain some insight. Yeah. So what happened to which source code it sucks, what kind of shits you need to solve. Yeah, all this is written down there. So it really helps. If let's say you are building certain functions, certain swap, staking, or whatever, you can go to our website and gain some experience over there. Is widely available there. Especially like critical is a logical issue. This is a critical problem because it's logical issues. So like minor problem is inconsistency. Sometimes information is about they are not using the industry standards on their language. So we will ask them to solve it. So here you can see our recommendations. You can see the findings, and you also can see the Aptos team comment. So this Aptos team comment is very important. Their language, how sincere they face their issues, you can basically look it from here. And some of the time, the sucks project, I cannot say that. Yeah. Some of the time, projects are not very serious on doing this, so you only see the acknowledge of findings. Mm-hmm. If you scroll down, okay, this is all the information provided by Skynet. So this is social analysis. So the daily mentions are dropped by 57 for Aptos, but the followers is growing. So all these information that you can see using Skynet, and this is one of the reasons why in Southeast Asia there's so many traffics flow into Certik.com, especially Vietnam ranked number 1, and then following by Indonesia's Thailand, then Dubai, and Nigeria. So these are the top 5 traffic flows to Certik.com. Why? Because they're using this dashboard to do tradings and do decision making. Why? Let me show you this. Oh, sorry, Aptos don't have a chart. Okay, let me go back to Polygon. Okay, so we interface a trading view chart over here, and what is the difference between you use a trading view or use a Skynet trading view in Certik.com is because we we allow you to use our informations to plot in the chart, to deploy in the chart, like Twitter followers, uh, there are some token changes, yeah, all these informations you can put in the chart and probably make trading decisions. I know, I don't know, I don't know how you make it, but these are the informations available there, yeah. And if you continue to scroll down, you can read the news, the volatility of liquidity. Also, you can see the largest tokens holder, LP holders on Polygon in real-time basis. Yeah. Yeah. So this is Skynet. Sorry. So this is about Skynet, and it's available for everyone to use if the projects pay for the Skynet services. And we also do KYC. So people in this space, if they want to stay anonymous and they want to build a trust with the communities, they can do a KYC with Certik. So this KYC, we will need the projects team to basically submit their documents like a driving license, passports. Some of my clients, they will do a recording video about their holding a passport and smile to the camera. I don't know why they want to do that, but it's so sincere, yeah, it's very good. Then step 2, we will perform OSIN analysis on all this data. So for whatever reason, they don't provide a certain information about their previous background, we will still able to check because of our OSIN. So our KYC compliance team is gathered by the ex-FBI that build algorithm on human trafficking, ex-French policemen, they are all in our team on doing this analysis. So sometimes it's no joke, because I read the reports of my clients that I'm so afraid that, wow, how many informations they can find. So at that time I joined this company, I know that I've been checked. So I most probably are very clean. My credit rating is AAA probably, so I can join Certik, because they can really do whatever they want to just to dig informations. And during the verification process, they also will perform a video call. Yeah. So some of my clients, I'm not sure it's language problems or what, they become so skeptical to provide information, and the interviewer feel not good, so the rating of the KYC also don't go good as well, because it's FBI. Yeah, and these are the documents we need them to provide, like proof of the social accounts, the Twitters or the Telegram of the projects. They need to show us, if they use GoDaddy domain, they need to show us the proof of the payment. Yeah, so if they've done the KYC, we basically will issue a badge there. So like Shen2 is one of the projects for Certik's reimbursement products using a CTK coin. So you can see the KYC is in gold. So of course there's more information down there, like 10 members verified, and this project started since October, and the KYC timeline, things like that. So we basically make our interface so readable. You not necessarily need to know those technical informations, but by just clicking the information bar, there will be more information for you, and in a very colorful interface to tell you, okay, this is a good one, KYC Gold. We have 3 rank for KYC Gold, Silver, and Bronze. So I think last 2 weeks ago, we started 2 new services beside the security solutions that we were providing. This one we call incident response. So we've been doing incident response in our Twitters. You can go Certik's alert. We basically share our data, findings about certain problems that happens in the space. Then we will share our investigation findings. So what about incidents response is, let's say the clients face a problem. Now they can engage us to do probably like talk to law enforcement, or probably their wallet get hacked, and we will try our best. It's actually a service. We'll try our best to recover the asset if it's possible. Liaise with exchanges. These services just started 2 weeks ago. And we also started Certik advisory, especially for the VCs. So if, let's say the VCs want to invest in certain projects that need some technical due diligence to be in place, so they can use our service to do that. So we call this Certik's advisory solutions. It just launched like 1 week ago. Yeah, it's so new. We can do market research, tokenomics, study compliance, yeah, things like that. We've been doing that, but just we make it a new products that we can offer. Yep. Yeah, I'm done. Yeah, so hopefully it's not taking too much of your time. Yeah, if you have any questions, reach out to me. And what should I do now? Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
So many cool tools. I learned that. Anyone have any questions for John before we move on to the next session? So John, you should be proud of yourself because you're crystal clear. Yeah, for sure. I think John will be hanging around for a bit, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and
sure.
if you are shy asking him in front of the camera, he'll be here and I think he's more than happy to answer your questions. So right up, there will be another session. It's more of a hands-on workshop. It's on Cairo.
I work for a company called Nethermind. We are very involved in the Starknet ecosystem, and hence my topic today, hands-on with Cairo and how to deploy a smart contract to Starknet. And at the end of the day, we are going to see how to verify your contract on Voyager. So yeah, first thing that we will do is that we need to install Starknet, or rather Cairo. So now here's a bit of caveat. Whatever I'm going to talk today, it's the version that is going to be deprecated very soon. But the reason why I'm introducing that version is because the new version hasn't been launched yet. So there's no way for me to deploy contract on the newer version. There's no way for me to verify contract on the new version, and hence we are sticking to the old way of doing things. But do not be demotivated by the fact it's an older version, because most of the things are very easily transferable knowledge. I mean. So first up, ensure that you have Python 3.9, and what we are doing over here is essentially we are creating like a virtual environment. I like to create mine in the root, so hang on a minute. So okay, I will just close all my terminals, start a new one, and if I list -a, you're able to see that I've created my virtual environments for a couple of different Cairo versions. So having virtual environments are a good way to ensure that your Python version, your Cairo version doesn't have conflicts with each other. So over here, I've nicely created this 0.10.3, which is what we are going to use today, because that's the current latest version that we have on production. So these are instructions that you can easily find on the Starknet doc, quick start doc. Right now, it supports Mac and Linux. And if you were to use Windows, you have to use WSL. And we tried it, and if you have problems installing on Windows and WSL, Kari is with the bucket hat on my left here. He's an expert in WSL, so do look for him. Yep, and because I've installed all this already, so what I'm going to do now is let me try to code with one hand. How do I type? Source, Cairo, Cairo _ venv, oh shit. Let me just type real quick. It's so hard to type with one hand, mate. It's not a good idea. Tab 3/bin/activate. Oh shit.
Yeah, people can see you, still hear you live.
Oops, yeah, sorry about that. Okay, so yeah, what I've done now is I have activated my virtual environment. Basically what you downloaded here and what you run later. This step, hang on, where is it? The source step. Oh, it's not here yet. Okay, never mind, it's okay, it's not written here, yeah, it's fine. But yeah, what you need to do is that you need to activate your virtual environment, which you have downloaded your Cairo compiler version. And once you have done that, I would like to then intro you to a tool, one of my favorite framework to develop on. It's called Protostar. So let me quickly head on to the docs. Protostar. So Protostar is real easy to install. It's unfortunately only on Linux and Mac. If you want to use Windows, you have to again use WSL. It's very easy to install. What you need to do is that you just need to copy this thing and then run it locally, and then you'll be able to get your latest Protostar version, which I already have. So if I check my version, what's that? Oh, much easier for me to speak?
Yeah, you can use your both hands now.
Oh yeah, awesome.
So just hook it around your ears.
Okay. So over here, there's nothing. It's fine, it's fine. So over here, you can see that the version of my protostar and also the version of my Cairo, which is 0.10.3, which is also the local environment that I'm running. So that means we are good. So what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to cd to a place so that I remember where I place my repo. I normally like to place it under docs/repo. And I'm going to call protostar init with a name. And let's call it KL mini hack. Oh, what's that? Oh, I already have the file, so let's call it another name. So let's open Visual Studio for that. Yeah, okay, my Visual Studio is up. So using the protostar init function, it has nicely scaffolded everything for you. So what you have your source file, your test file, which you'll be writing tests in, and also this toml file, which is how we are going to configure this later. So we'll walk through this throughout the hour. Let's look at how like a typical Cairo contract looks like. So over here, you can see that we have like a %length startnet. That means this is a smart contract that's going to deploy on startnet. So recall that startnet is also, Cairo is also a general programming language. So you have to specify this, else the compiler treat it as a normal Cairo code that is not going to deploy on startnet. The difference is that in smart contract you need this external storage var kind of macros or decorators, and you're not able to use hints. We won't be covering about hints, but yeah, just remember to deploy on startnet, you need to have this this %length startnet indicator. So for those who are very familiar with Solidity, you can see that this looks somewhat similar, but not exactly similar. For example, if I were to have a constructor here, I would need to have this decorator that tells that this is a constructor. And this is how I declare a view function. And view, just like in Solidity, only reads from the smart contract and not making any state changes, just like this one over here. External is something that you call and you make state changes for. So these three are the simple decorators that you receive a lot. Storage vars are basically you're declaring like a global storage, just like how you do like public in X. Oh, bigger. Oh shit. Oh shit, too big. I believe this is better. Somewhat better. Okay, I'll take it. So just like how you declare your global state in smart contract, this is how you declare your state variable in Cairo code. So yeah, but after scaffolding this is the general structure you will get. And what you need to do now, let's try to build it. The command is real simple. You're going to run protostar build. And just like that, the file will be in this new created build folder. What you see is that you see this main.json. Over here, there are three things that you will notice. This is the ABI. So you will then upload this file via deploy contract. Declared class and then this thing will go to the network, including the entry point type and also the program bytes, which is this one, the data. So this data is actually how the program is run. You can think of this like the bytecode of Solidity, but now it's in Cairo. The versions are here. The hints are here. Where is it? Not here. Yeah, here. So these are the allowed hints, the whitelisted hints, and a lot more bunch of details. But we are not concerned of that. What we generally need is that we need the ABI, because ABI gives us some like an interface for us to interact with the smart contract. So the difference between Solidity and Starknet is that even though you have not verified your code on Starknet, you're able to also write and read the smart contract because the ABI will generally be known when you deploy the contract. So yeah, that's the difference. So now let's talk about the, hang on, okay. So let's try to deploy this contract. How do we do it? Let's deploy this scaffold contract. So how do we do it? So what we need to do now is that we need to have an account because everything in Starknet requires some gas. So we will need to create an account, fund our account with gas, and then declare a class. So let's do it. So first things first, I'm already in my environment. I would like to then declare some environment variables. So let me just get it over here. I'm telling that I'm using the AlphaGolley environment variable. I'm going to deploy the AlphaGolley, which is one of the testnet on Starknet. And I am choosing this default Starknet wallet by OpenZeppelin. Okay, once that's done, you can just call Starknet new account. Mine would fail because I've already have an account and for this network, just like this. But just to show you how it looks like, if yours works, you will see this file being created. Nano.starknet. Okay. Here. List. Shit. Okay, sorry for that. You'll see this account being created with the public key, the private key, and the address of your deployed account, and true or not. If it has been deployed or not. So you have this if you have done the deploy new account. And the next thing is that you need to fund the account with some Ether because Ether is the native currency that you need to use to pay gas. So I already have some Ether. So just to confirm, let's go to our Starknet Explorer. So Voyager is one of the three Starknet Explorers available. It is like Etherscan, but it's on Etherscan. It's like Etherscan on the Starknet ecosystem. So over here, I already have 0.1989. I think that's very enough for what we want to do today. And over here, we can see all sorts of details such as transactions, events, read, write contract, because this is now an account contract, even write. So whatever, all you love and like, Etherscan, it's generally available here. So if you would like to get some test Ether, what you do is that you need to have like a Golley account. Yep, it's good thing mine is not locked. Let's see how much Golley I have. Oh, no, this mainnet. Golley. The reason why you need Golley is because all this Starknet AlphaGolley relies on Golley as the L1 layer. So you need to send some of this over to the Starknet ecosystem. How do you do that? Generally, you have to use this bridge called Starkgate, sorry. It changes to Golley because I'm on Golley. And over here, you just need to connect your MetaMask and your Starknet wallet. Speaking of which, we have, hang on a minute. Yeah, Starknet. Oh, I already have my Starknet wallet. Yeah, but we have two different Starknet wallets, Argent X and Bravos. So these two are the commonly used Starknet wallets in the ecosystem. So you need to send some Ether over, and then you're able to deploy. But I already done mine because it takes a while, so I already done mine in advance. So we are good. We are good on that front. Okay, so now we have built our Cairo code. Let's try to first declare. So in Stucknet, contract works a bit differently. There are a concept of contracts and also a concept of classes. Classes is like an interface, I would say a place where logic of the smart contract contains, and then contracts will read on it's an instance of the class. So in other words, one class could potentially have many contracts that has the same code, that will have the same code. So just let me show you an example. So in the Voyager Explorer, we have classes and contracts, and these are the contracts that has been declared. You can see this one is declared like 2 hours ago, and these are the read and write functions here. So despite not being verified yet, we can already know what the read and write functions are, simply because how Stucknet has designed that their API has to be also uploaded to get a contract declared. And if we were to look into contracts, you can see that each contract will have a class hash, because contract is simply just a working instance of the class. So this class potentially could have many, many contracts like this. This one has 532,011 contracts. It's a lot. It takes a while to load, but yeah, it has loaded. So yeah, there you go. So it is now important for you to first declare a contract, let the network know that you have a new code that you want to deploy, and then you deploy from the class hash. So let's do that now. So I like to use the native Stucknet commands to do that. So I've done ready over here. So how do I declare? The command is Stucknet declare -- contract. I think it's under build. Oops. It's not. One sec. Okay, now let's declare it. And it will read from the account that I've created just now via the deploy account. And over here, it will give us like the contract class hash, which is the hash of the code, as well as the transaction hash. So we will need this to, wrong one. Let's go back to Voyager. So allow me to explain what these statuses mean. Receive means that the sequencer has received your transaction. The sequencer is a party that arranges your transaction. So now the sequencer has it. Pending, that means it has not been confirmed, but it is going to be confirmed. So we are waiting for accepted on L2, and then after long enough, it will be accepted on L1. So why accepted L2 and accepted L1? Because Stucknet is a layer 2 scaling solution. So at the end, every few hours, it will send like a proof to L1, and once the L1 accepted, that means the state is confirmed to be correct because of the Stuck proof technology. So yeah, this one will take a couple of hours, but this one should be ready in a bit. So let's give it a wait. There you go. We have it as well. Okay, that's good. Now let's see if our contracts here is something that we have to verify. Okay, cool. It's not verified. We'll go through how to verify that in a bit. And now this is just a class. So remember, class is something that we cannot interact with. So what we need to do now is we need to deploy a contract from the class. So let me also do that via my terminal. The command is Stucknet deploy the class hash, the class hash here. Oh, typo. Shit. Let's try again. Yeah, a series of typo causes a bit of confusion, but I managed to deploy it. Let's take a look. Again on Voyager. Same story. Yes, we now received by the sequencer and it will take a while to deploy. So yeah, there you go. This is how you deploy like a easy smart contract on Starknet. Again, bear in mind that these are all in Starknet 0.10.3 syntax. In the next Cairo 1 version, it will be a massive change in syntax. But we are not doing that today because that is not live yet. So yeah, but do look forward for many tutorials and upcoming workshops by Nethermind and also by the Starknet Malaysia team. Okay, while we are waiting for this to get oh yeah, it's coming soon. The contract address is here. Is it here? Oh no, this is my contract address. The contract address is here. Cool. This is the contract they have deployed. So the contract classes, the contract class hash matches the one that we deployed. Here, I think it's here. Where is it? Yep, here. It's 2A5 5DE, and this is also 2A5DE. Okay, this is correct. So, the problem now is that we are not able to view our code, right? So even though we have the read and write function, we are not able to verify the logic of the code. So the next step is to get our code verified on Voyager. So thankfully, we have this thing called Voyager Verify, which I'm going to show you to GitHub. So how you install Voyager is by running this npm i-g. You install it globally. Let me open a new window. And it should have this version, which should be the latest version. And the next thing we do is that we cd to the repo that we used just now, which is I think KL Mini Hackathon 2. Let's do it. So Voyager Verify supports 3 types of deployment method, one now, one protostar, and one very no framework. So if you were to run Voyager Verify later here, this package will automatically detect which framework that you use. So it's pretty convenient. So let's do that. Okay, over here it pops up which version that we want. I select Golly, enter the contract class hash. So I recall that my class was, what's this happening? Recall that the class was, lost mine. Ah, there you go, this one. .3 because we have this node version. Is this a contract class? No, because this is just the class that we deployed from. So no. And we select the file that we wanted to verify, which is this one. So let's give our contract a name. Let's call it test protostar. and it will then shortly verify your contract. There you go, version successful. Thank you for using Voyager. So if I were to refresh this page, this status has now changed. Actually, I don't need to refresh. This status has now changed to verified, and I can now see my code right here. So this is how you deploy and verify your smart contract on Voyager. Okay, now this is pretty straightforward. I basically have not gone through any fancy operations, mainly just using this startup init code and show you like the function in it. So let's try to do something a bit more fancy. Oh, we have a question.
Why can we see now the contract code and it was not possible before the 5 minutes?
Oh, let me give you a check. I think it's because some bug that we are facing. Embarrassing to share that, but yeah, I think it's probably some bug. Let me give it a check. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's some bug that we are facing. Some bug on the Voyager side. But it happens like very rarely, and today we are unlucky. Yeah, it's deployed, it's there. But something wrong in Voyager a little bit. Okay, anyway, our class, if I were to deploy again, it will work. So let's try again. It's a little slow because of network, but let's revisit that. So next thing, so now we are just, I'll get back to this later, yeah, if I'll remember. The next thing we want to do is that we want to then use libraries, because library is something that we rely on a lot, especially OpenZeppelin. So how do you do that? So in Protostar, what you need to do is that you need to run Protostar install OpenZeppelin. I'll do it. So this command allows us, it would detect that this thing, it's github.com/this OpenZeppelin/Cairo, and then it will install like oh, it fails. Let's do this without the versioning. Okay. Oh yeah, and the contract is now here. Yep, there you go, this is the contract. And because it's verified, the code is also available because we have verified the class already. So the contract inherits the class, and so this entire thing is now verified. Has this verified status here. I think, there you go. So, back to our, yeah. So I've installed my library here, Cairo contracts, and we have source OpenZeppelin. So let's try to using this OpenZeppelin to maybe create like an ERC20 contract, because that's the most simple. To do that, to not mess things up, new file, KL mini hack, ERC20.Cairo. So I'm going to be lazy and just copy everything from the top, because we need to take some things here. So hash built-in is something that we will need. I won't explain this, but it's one of the built-ins in Cairo that we will need to import whenever we want to use some functions, especially external ones. So before we do that, we now need to import OpenZeppelin. So how we do that? So it's from, we check where is it, Open Zeppelin, /token /ERC20 and library. Dot token and what do we import? We import the namespace, which is where is it? ERC20. Now, before we forget, remember our TOML file? We will now need to tell Protostar where to find the directory to our Cairo contract. So this is another thing that we need to remember. We need to declare like a lib path. And then the directory to where the source in the lib is located. So lib / Cairo contracts /source. So what basically it's going to happen is that Protostar will see that, hey, this is something that it doesn't recognize, right? And then it will then look at lib, hey, this looks like a path that I can use. It will then concatenate /lib Cairo contract /source with /open Zeppelin token ERC20 library, which is the exact path that we have here, lib Cairo source and open Zeppelin token ERC20 library. So this is how you avoid having to type the long things like source lib dot Cairo contract blah 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 blah. So by setting it in the TOML file, you avoid doing a lot of those things. And because we have now a new contract, we need to remember to also declare like a let Protostar know that we have a contract that we want to also compile. So let me do that. Okay, so now what do? I have prepared like a copy of ERC20, which I'm going to just copy and paste. And I'm going to explain what's going on because there are so many, I won't be able to do it live with one hand. So, so what normally typically an ERC20 has is a constructor. It will tell you the name, the symbol, initial supply, and these are the initializers that you need to call. So if I jump in, can I? No, I can't. That's fine. So we are calling this initializer function at the constructor, and then we put in some supply to the recipient, right? And then we also need to declare some view functions to view the name from the storage, symbols from the storage, total supply, and so on and so forth. These are like standard ERC20 functions. Transfer from, approve, I think. Just approve, I forgot. And and so this is a complete ERC20 token on Starknet, but not quite. If you compile this, it will fail. Let's see what's the error. So it's complaining that, it's not found. Try again. I used the wrong key. It should be Cairo dash path instead of like lib. Yeah, this should work. But it still have errors for the same reason that I mentioned before. So over here, is complaining that, I don't have uint 256. So what is going on here? Isn't uint 256 like something like a native type? Unfortunately, for Cairo, older version Cairo 0, you will need to import a uint 256 from the Starkware library. The good news is this will be then like a first-class citizen in Cairo 1. So definitely an upgrade on developer experience there. So I am going to copy and paste that because I've prepared a copy here. Okay. The reason why we need a separate uint 256 is because all native types in Cairo are felt. Felt are 252 bits, and 256 uint 256 are 256 bits. So we are 4 bits short of representing the Ethereum ERC20 standard. So the workaround or the strategy to go about that is to declare a new type, just like this. And basically, this is made up of 2 felts of higher and lower parts of 128 bits, using 2 felts to represent like a single 256 bits. So that's the strategy here. And I rebuilt and it failed. So it says I'm missing get caller contract. That's because I will need to also import that. So get caller contract is like message.sender in Solidity. I normally forgot the extension, so I always have pre-prepared this, thankfully. And now it should work. There you go. We have nicely compiled this, built this. And yeah, there you go. We have now walked through like a simple ERC20 Cairo contract. And to deploy it, it's just like how we deploy the main Cairo file. I think that is all. I'm open for questions. Okay. Any questions from everyone? I guess that sums up the bookshop for today. I'll be around if you have any Starnet related questions or Cairo related questions. I'm on the table or around, just let me know. And I hope you all enjoy the rest of the day. Oh yeah, okay, thank you. Thank you everyone for the support. Okay, now I'm a different mode now, so I'm going to talk about a bit of the hackathon. Right until now, to 10 p.m., you guys are free to roam around if you're actually not free. We do have hacker spots. Yudish over there will brief you to where the hacker spots are later. Do remember, again, friendly reminder, include your GitHub link with README file in the dev post, because if not, we weren't able to check your work and we weren't able to include you in the presentation slot. Do that before 10 p.m. today, and I will then announce the order before 12 a.m. Optimistically, because we need some time to filter and go through the entries one by one. And I think anyone that is still looking for a team, we have a last minute entry if you're still interested. If not, I think that's okay. Okay, probably next time. Anyway, I hope you enjoy hacking and I can't wait to see what you guys do tomorrow. Yudish, probably you want to come and explain.